Let's read Roald Dahl. Going to Norway. Yay, excellent. These summer holidays, those magic words, these were attention, these are attention of used to send shivers of joy ripping over my skin. All my summer holidays from when I was 4 years old to when I was 17, 19, 20 to 32 were totally idyllic. This I am certain was because we all went the same idyllic place, and that place is Norway. Except for ancient half sister and my not so quite ancient half brother. The rest of them were pure Norwegian by blood. We all spoke Norwegian and relation over there. So in the way, going to Norway every summer is like going home. Oh, but now I am only now I am only a grandfather. Even through the journey was an event. Do not forget that there were no commercial aeroplanes in those times. So it would take whole days to complete the trip and another 4 days to get home. We were at an enormous party. There were 3 brothers and my ancient half sister, that's 4. My ancient half brother, that's 6. And my mother, that's 7. And Nanny, that's 8. And in addition to there were never less than 2 others who were some of enormous ancient friends of ancient half sisters. That's 10 all together. Looking back on I don't know how my mother did it. There were all those train bookings and boat bookings and hotel bookings to mail and advance by letter. She had to make sure that had enough shorts and shirts and sweaters and gym shoes and bathing costumes. You couldn't even buy a shoelace on the island we were going to. And packing must have been a nightmare. 6 huge trunks were carefully packed as well as countless suitcases when the great departure day arrived. 10 of us together with the mountains of luggage would set the first easiest step of the journey to London. When we arrived in London, we tumbled into the 3 taxis and we went clattering across the great city. King's Cross, where we got onto miles to north. The trip to Newcastle took about 5 hours, and when we arrived there, we needed 3 more taxis to take to be waiting. The next stop after there would be Oslo, the capital of Norway. When I was young, the capital of Norway was not called Oslo. It was called Christiania. But somewhere along the line, Norwegians decided to do away the pretty name and call it Oslo. Instead, as children, we all knew it as Christiania. But if I called it that here, we shall go to confuse. I had better stick to Oslo all the way through the journey from Newcastle to Oslo. It took 2 days and a night, and if rough, it was dawn of seasick. Expect our dauntless mother. We used to lie in deck chairs of the promenade deck with easy reach of the rails, embalmed in rugs, and face slate grey and stomachs churning, refusing the hot soup and ship's biscuit kindly Steward kept offering us. And as for poor Nanny, she began to feel sick the moment she took the nest. I hate these things, she used to say. I'm sure we'll never get there. Which lifeboat do we got to? It starts to sink. Then she would retire to her cabin, where she stayed growing with counseling in Oslo. Her boarding the next always stop off for one night in Oslo, so that we could make grand annual family dinner with best mama and best papa, our mother's parents, and with her two maiden sisters, our aunts, who live in the same house. Best mama and best papa, and us three. Seems good. When we got off the boat, we all went in a cavalier of taxis straight to the Grand Hotel and drop off our luggage. Then, keeping the same taxis, we drove to grandparents' house, where an emotional welcome waited us. All of us were embarrassed and kissed many times, and tears flowed down the wrinkled cheeks. And suddenly, quite gloomy house came alive with many children's voices. Since I first saw, Best Mama was terribly ancient. She was a white-haired, wrinkly-faced old but the miles away to house a few hours early. Best Papa was the quiet one. He was a small, dignified scholar with white goatee beard, and as I could gather, he was an astrologer, a metaphysicist, and a speaker of ancient Greek like Best Mama. He sat the most time of the chair, saying little soberly overhead. I imagine by the raucous rebel who was destroying his neat and polished home. The two things I remember most about call it crocan, and the result didn't simply melt in your mouth like ordinary ice cream. You chewed and when the crunch taste was something you dreamed for days afterwards. The greatest feast would be interrupted by a small speech called Welcome from Grandfather, and grown-ups would raise their long steamed wine glasses and say "Skull" many times through the meal. When guzzling was over, those were of homemade liquor, a colorless but fiery drink that smelled of mulberries. The glass was raised again and again, and the scaling seemed to be forever. In Norway, you may select individuals around the table and skull in small private ceremony. You first lift your high glass and out of the name. Best Mama, you say. Skull, Best Mama. She will be left of the glass hold up high. At the same, you meet her, and you must keep looking deep into her eyes as you sip your drink. After you would both done this, raise glasses and again of a short, silent final salute, and only then does each person look away and set down his glass. It's serious to solemn ceremony, and as a rule on formal occasions, everyone skulls else around the table once. If there are, for example, 10 people present and you one will ask Cal your 9 companions, and you will also receive 9 separate scales at different times during the meal. 18 in all. That's how they work in polite society over there. At least they used to be old days, and quite a business it was. By the time I was 10, I would be permitted to take part in the ceremonies, and I finished this speech as a lord. Going to Norway and these Roald Dahl books are amazing to read. And I have found these amazing books which I got there.